Hey everyone, it's August 30th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Lonnie Franklin Jr., known as the Grim Sleeper, who may have murdered as many as 25 or more victims in Southern California. And that is him right over there. Franklin was born a middle child in 1952 and grew up in South Central Los Angeles and avoided any serious trouble as a child. The same can't be said once he joined the Army in the early 1970s, as he was one of 3 servicemen stationed in Stuttgart, Germany, who was convicted of gang raping a 17-year-old girl. Photos were taken of the victim during the act, which is something he would do later in life when his crimes escalated to murder. After his release from prison in 1975, he was dishonorably discharged and returned to Los Angeles, where he got married and fathered 2 children, which, as it turns out, ultimately led to his capture in 2010. Franklin was hired as a mechanic by the City of Los Angeles Sanitation Department and also worked briefly for the LAPD. During the mid-1980s, bodies of dead women were being found in alleys and dumpsters across South Central Los Angeles, leading to the LAPD forming a task force to hunt down the Southside Slayer. Ultimately, they realized that multiple serial killers were at work in the community, making it very difficult to find any of them. We now know that at least 5 serial killers were active during that time with similar MOs who were responsible for many of those murders. You can watch my videos from March 30th and November 5th for more information on 2 of them. DNA evidence wasn't able to be analyzed with the techniques available at the time, and those murders largely went unsolved. It was later learned that Franklin was one of the killers, and he would abduct a woman at gunpoint, sexually assault them, then shoot and leave her body in a trash bag in a dumpster or alley. In 1988, one victim managed to escape after being shot, and Franklin feared being caught, so he ceased his operations, or went to sleep, for 14 years. This is where the Grim Sleeper nickname came from. In 2002, the urge to kill overtook him once more, and Franklin began to do so again, adding to the 9 victims we now know that he killed in the 1980s. Once again, the police were stumped as to who was killing women in the area, but they caught a break in 2010 when DNA from cold cases was compared to a database the state of California had compiled in recent years. In 2004, voters had passed Proposition 69. Nice. Which requires the state to obtain DNA from those convicted of violent crimes. While Franklin's DNA wasn't in the system, his son was a convicted felon, and a partial match was established. Investigators finally were able to link Franklin to the murders that spanned from 1985 to 2007, and he was arrested. When investigators searched his home, they found over 1,000 photos of victims behind a wall in his house. He was indicted in 2011 for 7 murders in the 80s and 3 after he began killing again in the 2000s, but was connected to at least 17 and perhaps as many as 25 or more murders. Legal proceedings took all the way until 2016, but he was ultimately convicted and sentenced to death. Franklin died of complications due to heart disease in March of 2020 while sitting on death row, without ever admitting to the dozens of unsolved murders he is suspected of committing. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Lonnie Franklin Jr., I say, happy birthday, you bastard.